Chapter 5 Formulas and Functions. Learning Objectives. Working with formulas. Using a basic formula. Using compound formula. Using formula on text. Types of cell references. Renaming a worksheet. Changing color of a sheet tab. Functions. Formula errors. Introduction. Formulas are the user-defined instructions to perform arithmetical calculations, whereas functions are the predefined inbuilt formulas. In this chapter, you will learn the basics of formulas and functions in Excel and how they are used in different situations. Working with formulas. Formulas are used to perform calculations such as addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. It is an expression that can incorporate cell addresses, numbers, arithmetic operators, and parentheses. You can perform simple as well as complex calculations using formulas. Formula must start with equal to symbol followed by cell references and operators. References: a cell or a range of cells that you want to incorporate in your calculation. Operators: symbols that specify the operation to be performed. Constants: numbers or text values that do not change. Functions: predefined formulas in Excel. Using a basic formula. Basic formula comprises only one type of operator in it. For example, suppose you need to calculate the total sales of months Jan to June and display the result in cell B11. Follow the steps given below to use a basic formula. Click on the cell B11 where you want to show the result and type equal to sign. Click on the cell B5. A dashed border called Mark Q will display around it. Its address will display in the B11 and in the formula bar. Now type the plus symbol. Now click on cell B6. Again type symbol plus. Repeat the above steps till B10 or type is equal to B5 plus, B6 plus, B7 plus B8 plus B9 plus B10 in B11. You will observe the different color borders that display around these cells. Press the Enter key. Cell B11 will show the total of all the values from B5 to B10. Using compound formula. Compound formulas are used when more than one operator is needed to do the calculation. Let us calculate the simple interest by using the compound formula P into R into T upon 100. Enter the data as shown in the figure and follow the steps given below. Click on cell B6. It will get highlighted. Now type is equal to symbol in the selected cell. Type the formula as is equal to B2 into B3 into B4 upon 100. Press Enter key from the keyboard. It will display the result in cell B6. Using formula on text. To add numerical values, we use plus symbol. But in case you want to add characters or string values, you need to use ampersand operator. Addition of two or more text values is called concatenation. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Enter any string value in cell A2 and B2. Say moon in A2 and light in B2. Enter the formula is equal to moon ampersand light in cell C2 and press Enter key. It will exhibit moonlight in cell C2. Types of cell references. Cell reference is the cell address in a formula. You can find the values or data in a worksheet that you want to use in formula with the help of references. Cell references are of three types. Relative reference. By default, all cell references are relative references. When copied across multiple cells, they also change based on the relative position of rows and columns. For example, if the formula in A3 is A1 plus A2, and you copy the formula from A3 to B3, Excel automatically changes the reference to match the position of cells, that is B1 plus B2. To create and copy a formula using relative reference, perform the following steps. Select the cell B12 in which formula is equal to sum B5 is to B10 is written. Click on the copy button located in the clipboard group on the Home tab. Now select C12 and click on the paste button. Notice that the cell reference in C12 turns automatically from B5 is to B10 to C5 is to C10. Note, you can also calculate the sum of the range by using the autofill handle, plus select the cell B12 and using the autofill handle drag it to C12. The sum of the range C5 is to C10 will be reflected in the cell C12. Absolute reference. There may be situations when you do not want a cell reference to change when filling cells. Unlike relative references, absolute references do not change when copied or filled. You can use an absolute reference to keep a row and or column constant. An absolute reference is designated in a formula by the addition of a dollar sign, preceded by column reference, the row reference, or both. For example, A1 plus A2. For example, let us calculate the incentive amount at the rate of 10% on monthly sale. Type 10% in cell D1. Now click on the cell D5. Enter the formula to calculate the desired value. In our example, type B5 into D1 and press the Enter key. The cell D5 exhibits the value 10,000. The first cell address B5 has no dollar sign, so it is relative reference, and the second cell address is fully absolute. Therefore, when the data of the cell is copied, the first cell reference turns accordingly in the new position, but the second one remains the same, D1. Now copy the formula by dragging the mouse pointer to the remaining cells. Mixed reference. Mixed reference is a combination of both relative and absolute reference. In this type of reference, either row or column has to remain fixed. A1 plus A2 is an example of mixed reference. Let us use this method to calculate the actual expenses. Type 50 in cell D2. Click on the cell E5. Type C5 minus D2. Press the Enter key. You can further calculate the actual expenses for other cells by dragging the mouse pointer to the desired range when it changes to the cross symbol. Fact file. Microsoft Excel follows the BODMAS rule to evaluate the mathematical expression. Excel uses this method automatically when a formula contains more than one operator. Renaming a worksheet. By default, the worksheets in Workbook are named as Sheet 1, Sheet 2, and so on. You can easily rename them in order to make it more relevant for users or readers. To rename a worksheet, do the following steps. Right-click on the Sheet 1 tab in the worksheet. A shortcut menu will appear. Click on the Rename option. The Sheet tab gets highlighted. Type the new name and press Enter. Changing color of a sheet tab. By default, inactive worksheet tabs in Excel are gray and active or selected worksheet tabs are white. To change the color of a sheet tab, do the following steps. Right-click on any sheet tab and select Tab Color option from the shortcut menu. Select any color from the displayed choices and notice the change. Functions. Functions are the predefined formulas or built-in calculations. Functions save time and stop the chance to write wrong formulas. They accept arguments and return values. Arguments are the input values to functions which are given within parentheses. Arguments may be numbers, text, etc. and are enclosed within parentheses. Functions start with the equal to sign followed by the function name and then the list of arguments separated by comma within the parentheses. For example, is equal to function name, argument 1, argument 2. Rules to enter a function are: And Excel functions must start with equal to sign. Function name must be a valid Excel name. For example, sum average. Function name must be followed by an opening and closing parenthesis. Arguments should be enclosed in the parenthesis. For example, is equal to sum A1 is to A5. Common functions. Sum. Sum function is used to find the total of the given numbers in a range. Syntax is equal to sum cell range. For example, let us calculate the total marks obtained by the students in Student Progress Report. Create the table of Student Progress Report in Excel as shown in the figure. Now, click on cell E4 and type the formula is equal to sum C4 is to D4. Press Enter key from the keyboard. The result will be displayed in cell E4. Now click on cell E4. Move the mouse pointer to the bottom right corner of the cell. When the pointer changes its shape to plus sign, click and drag the mouse to cell E10 and release the mouse button. It will automatically calculate the total marks of all the students. Average. Average function returns the average of the range values. The arguments can be a range of cells, simply numbers or numbers along with cell reference. Syntax is equal to average cell range. For example, let us calculate the average of the marks obtained by the students in Student Progress Report. Click on cell F4 and type the formula is equal to average C4 is to D4. Press Enter key from the keyboard. The result will be displayed in cell E4. Now click on cell E4. Move the mouse pointer to the bottom right corner of the cell. When the pointer changes its shape to plus sign, click and drag the mouse to cell F10 and release the mouse button. It will automatically calculate the average of the marks of all the students. Max and min. Syntax of max is equal to max cell range. Syntax of min, min cell range. For example, let us find out the maximum and minimum marks obtained in the Student Progress Report. Click in cell D12 and type the function is equal to max E4 is to E10 and press Enter key from the keyboard. It will display the maximum value from the total marks of the students. To calculate the minimum obtained marks, click in cell D13 and type the function is equal to minimum E4 is to E10 and press Enter key and see the result. Today. It is used to show the current date. Type is equal to today in the cell and press the Enter key. The today function will show the current date in the selected cell. Similarly, you can insert the current day, month and year in a cell to display the values in number form. For month is equal to month today. For year is equal to year today. For day is equal to day today. To show the values in text form, for month is equal to text today, mm. For day is equal to text today, d. For year is equal to text today, y. Other commonly used functions are functions purpose. ODD number returns the number rounded up to the nearest odd integer. Int number rounds the number to the nearest integer. Product range multiplies the values in a range of cells. Round number num digit rounds a number to the specified digits. Log number base returns natural algorithm of a number to a specified base. SQRT number returns a square root. Power number power returns the result of a number raised to some power. Mod number divisor returns the remainder after a number is divided by the divisor. Function library. There are many functions defined in Excel, and it is quite impossible for a person to remember the name and functionality of each one of them. To overpower it, Excel has combined all the functions in the Function Library group of Formulas tab. Here the worksheet functions are grouped by their functionality such as math and trig, text, date and time, etc. You can click a category to browse its functions. Suppose you want to add the price of a given list of items, so we can use AutoSum function for this. To make use of the function, you need to follow the given steps. Create a table in Excel as shown in the figure. Click on the cell B8. Click on the Formula tab. Go to Function Library and select AutoSum function. It will display the function in the selected cell by automatically selecting the cell range. Press Enter key and you will get the result. The Insert function. The Insert function is one of the options in the Function Library group which is used to insert a formula in a current cell. Let us review this option. Click on the cell in which you want to put a formula. Click the Insert function button located on the Formulas tab, or click on the Insert function FX button located on the formula bar. An Insert function dialog box opens and an equal to sign. In the Insert function dialog box, you can search for a function by typing short description of what you want to do in the Search for a Function text box. You do not recall the name of the function. For example, add numbers returns some function. In the Or Select a Category text box, you can choose the category of the function like math and trig function. Select the desired function from the exhibited list and then click OK. A function arguments dialog box opens in which you will enter the cell references or values and then click on OK to find the result of the selected function. Formula errors. If any formula is entered incorrectly in MS Excel, then Excel shows an error message rather than the proper value. It also helps you in finding and solving the problem. Some of the common errors along with their possible reasons are given alongside. Some common errors in Excel sheet. This error occurs if the column is not having enough space to accommodate the value. It occurs if the formula is used incorrectly. It occurs if the formula contains an invalid argument. This error occurs if the number is divided by a 0 or an empty cell. Quick backup. Formulas are the user-defined instructions to perform calculations. Formulas are used to perform calculations involving addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. The cell address in the formula is called cell reference. There are three types of cell references: relative, absolute, and mixed reference. Functions are the predefined or inbuilt formulas that come with Excel. Functions are used to perform both simple and complex calculations. The Insert function is one of the options in the Function Library group, which allows us to insert formula in a current cell.